my God. All right, YouTube, we're on. I got a monster striper. Oh yeah, there we go. I seen him jump. Oh, he popped off. There he goes. Damn. I should have fucking played him out. Oh, you guys seen that? He was boiling on the shad and fucking got him. Damn it.
Let's raid.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? Alright, so Mr. Flip coming at you with basically touching topics on shad boils. You guys seen in some of the clips before I started talking to you guys. It's outrageous right now on Lake Mojave here in Arizona. The shad are definitely rosing up from the bottom, and these big predator fish are definitely coming up, you know, to get their meal. But however, it has been a struggle. I do gotta admit that. I was out there for 2 days for approximately maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours throughout those 2 days, and I only got 2 massive hookups. One great striper that I had all the way basically under my nose, and I lost them. And so what I want to touch bases on are different types of baits to throw. I know there's millions of videos on it, but a lot of people, you know, basically go off everybody else's videos and, you know, talk about matching the hatch and so on and so forth. And I kind of want to scoot out of that zone and get you into a different product and a different way of how to catch these fish out of these boils. Now, I literally was out there trying to match the hatch. I mean, I was throwing everything from artificials that looked like shad to anything that had, you know, the particular look of a shad. Like, for instance, I was throwing like a Rapala jerk bait, or even, you know, the sub walk I was throwing, you know, just about everything. Top water, shad color. These things will work. They honestly will. They will catch you fish. However, what I did notice out of this year's shad is they are small. They are really, really small. And so I kind of played my mind with the, you know, with trying to figure out, now if these fish, these big predator fish do not want to eat these bigger shad imitation swim baits, you know, going around them, maybe they're going to be more aggressive towards another predator fish and, you know, do a different type of strike or something. And so that's exactly how I ended up hooking up on these stripers. What I ended up doing, you know, I threw the Savage Gear, let me see if I can get it on hook here. Savage Gear line through. Now, I know we have nothing like this in Lake Mojave right now. There's literally, honestly, there's no trout in Lake Mojave, period. But the bigger profile swim baits that you're throwing out there kind of imitates, you know, another large predator fish going on into these shad boils, and these other big predator fish, for instance, like a striped bass, sees this. Now, what that striped bass is going to do, he's going to feel intimidated and want to strike that imitation bait coming through, get that out of there so he can get his meal. So he doesn't have to worry about, you know, finding another shad pocket or whatnot. And so I kind of like played this throughout my head every time I kept catching these stripers out of these shad boils on different imitation, you know, swim baits and stuff like that. And I was just like, you know, it's outrageous. Now I threw another bait. I threw the Savagegear shad, what is this, the glide swim, the shine glide. And I didn't get any kind of hits, but I did get a nice bass that followed it. And that was kind of shocking. I was like, here we go, you know, this is going to be awesome. Because I was literally getting skunked out there. But that's, if you got shad out there boiling like this is going to be what you're going to want to throw. But I literally started throwing things that I didn't think were going to catch me fish. You know, like trout color, swim baits and stuff like that. And I was getting striped. It was like outrageous. I was like, cool, here we go. Now, the one fish that you see me hook up on and bring it all the way into shore, I seen the striper jump out of the water onto the shad, you know, just outrageously out of the water. And I was like, okay, so I got out there, I launched my swim bait out there, gave it a slow roll with a twitch once I felt like I was within those shad, and boom, I got hammered. And that's what kind of played all this into mind, that, you know, why match the hatch when, if they're not hitting the hatch, then go with something else. And that's exactly what I found successfully working for me. I'm going to try to get out this weekend on the kayak. That way I can kind of follow these boils around instead of being stuck on the shore. And I'm going to actually try to get better footage for you guys, showing you it's not always about matching the hatch like everybody else says. It's more or less, if you're not catching these striped bass or these largemouth bass during these boils, then throw something that's going to intimidate those large predator fish, thinking that, you know, their food source is being taken by another predator fish. And so that's the way I'm going to do it this week. I'm going to try to get out there probably just one night fishing. I got some family time I got to pull in, since I'm like fishing all the time on my days off and never home. You know, that's a YouTube life. The wife understands it and all. But this week I'm going to try to get out there just one solid day on the kayak throughout these boils. I'm going to try to stay out there from morning till dusk or morning till night, and just try to catch as many fish as I can on these boils and see how it works out. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it works out great. I am going to be throwing a lot of Savagegear product. Another thing that I do want to actually start giving a shot, you guys seen the product reviews on the Savagegear 3D Rat. I'm going to try to get these in the boils. And also the duck. I got it right here. Let me see. I need to get me a bigger container for these guys. I'm going to try to get these guys right here inside of these boils, especially the duck. There's been a lot, I've been watching a lot of the ducks out here swoop down on these shad, and you know, I'm pretty sure it's going to work. The predator fish are going to try to bump these ducks out of the way so they can also get in on their, you know, their food source. So we'll see how these work. Stay tuned for that. I'm going to get out there and just throw crazy stuff, because I think that's what's going to help. I honestly think that is what's going to help. Now, I've seen a lot of people out here when I was out there on Lake Mojave, you know, consistently, boom, 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 trying to cast out, you know, trying to match the hatch, throwing artificial everything shad color, and nothing. And I'm out there, you know, throwing awkward, you know, swim baits and stuff, you know, similar to something that they would eat on the river and not on the lake. And I'm getting hammered. So I'm definitely going to throw out some crazy stuff. I can't wait to throw out these big rats and these big ducks. I have a feeling these are going to work on these boils. I honestly do. Now, I've also noticed throughout these boils that a lot of these boils, they're getting boiled on by smaller fish too. I've also noticed that, where we're seeing these shad, you know, pop up, pop up, pop up. And you're like, all right, cast in, you know, and then they get pushed up closer, and then you see small little bass and stuff just popping these small shad up. And it's kind of frustrating because these shad are so small, everything can literally, you know, source off of them. And once you see that boil going, you get excited. You're like, all right, there's a big fish in here, and you're casting and nothing. And then you see these boils coming closer to you. And probably in the video clip, you'll be able to see where I got the shads, you know, moving through. And you can see these small, tiny little bass, you know, just swimming around the shad pockets, and it's like, damn, seriously, what is that? You know, that's nothing. But I think once I get out on that kayak and I get, you know, adventure out a little bit deeper, a little bit further, and get on the bigger shad boils, I think it's going to be great. We'll see. So hopefully this weekend we catch some monsters. I'm fingers crossed. I got one day to successfully do this. Hopefully it works out to my advantage, and hopefully, you know, this whole point of thinking as I'm trying to puzzle this all together, guys, throwing, you know, different types of artificials that these predator fish are going to want to basically pound out of the weight so they can get their food source. I hope this is actually working, you know, this is correct, because this is my train of thought right now. This is what I'm thinking is going to happen. I think this is how it's going to work, only because I've been getting strikes off very awkward swim baits. So I finally got me a Depths 250. You guys seen in my diving video, I recovered one of the Depths 250 Depths 250. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm in the process of restoring that bait, and then I might end up getting it out this week in Lake Mojave and throwing that out maybe just a couple of times just to, you know, see how it does. We'll see. We'll see. That bait actually belongs to my son. I recovered it off the bottom of the river, and I decided to give it to my boy, my little kid, and that way when he grows up, he has something, you know, kind of cool he can throw later on in the years or whatnot. But I am going to throw it a couple of times for sure. I'm running really strong lines, so I don't have to worry about losing it. If I catch a big fish on it, I'll just play it in. So we'll see how that works, you guys. I'm going to throw some crazy stuff out there this weekend. Maybe I'll even throw a hat or a shoe, who knows, because it's just how weird these fish are acting on Lake Mojave. Traveling, I am actually in process of saving up some money, and I'm going to be doing a lot of out-of-town fishing. Jordan PANSTER lives in Lake Mojave. Yeah, he is sponsored by Savage Gear. He had actually got me tied in with Savage Gear to an extent, and I really want to get out there on Lake Mojave with him. He catches some pretty awesome fish. You guys got to check out his videos. He actually just uploaded an intro, a really awesome intro, throwing the Savage Gear line through, similar to this, but it's a soft bait, and he killed it. So I'm definitely going to get out there with Jordan and do some fishing in Lake Mojave. And then I got some other buddies that I met off Instagram who are mainly kayak fishermen who are going to come down here and fish with me on Lake Mojave. And then after that, I want to go up to Vegas. I want to fish up on Lake Mead. And I'm just going to be traveling around a lot. I also want to do a lot of golf course fishing, see how many golf courses I can get kicked out. We're going to keep track of that once I start moving around. This town, I'm pretty much set and settled for all the golf course fishing here, even though they're not the greatest. They're smaller fish. But I'm going to travel around, you know, these states and see how many golf courses I can get kicked out and how many personal best fish I can catch off these golf courses. These golf courses around these states, I've seen people catch pretty nice solid bass and stuff. So stay tuned, lots planned, and I really appreciate you guys' support. You guys' support is what pays for everything. You know, it really helps me out a lot with financial need, with my financial needs, etc. You know, being a family man, my budget's really tight. I do work a full-time job, but every time you guys hit that like button, you guys keep me, you know, motivated to continuously push these videos out for you, and I really appreciate it. So with that being said, head over to my YouTube channel, hit that sub button. Oh, we're already on the video, but make sure you hit up the channel, hit that sub button, check out my other videos, and if you guys want to see different types of footage or, you know, other things, let me know. I know I've been mainly in the fishing, you know, business right now. If you guys want to see some mine shaft exploring or some run and gun shooting or hunting or whatever, let me know. Coyote season is in effect, but I'm kind of pushing that off to the side right now for, you know, some of my sponsors. I really got to get, you know, on the water and really get my sponsorship going. That's like one of my main keys, you know, even though hunting is one of my biggest loves for the outdoors, but fishing right now is what it is, even though the bite is slow. So yeah, much love and respects. I think I blabbered on enough, yeah? All right, I'm up and out. Peace, my friends.
Holy shit. Boils, look at all those boils. They're boiling everywhere. We're gonna try to get something out on this. Look at all these boils. Boils everywhere.